unbelievably loud. Welcome
Unbelievably
to the
loud.
Unbelievably Loud podcast.
1. Monkey.
Bars.
Take it away.
You ready? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Thicc and Gutter podcast. My name is Alex,
I'm Jesse.
aka Thicc.
And Butter.
And this is episode 62. And happy 4th of July to those people out there that are listening. We're recording this 2 days after 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's like
It's the holiday season.
It's the holiday season. And,
I don't know how many people...
If you're celebrating it this year or you're not. So I don't know what stance you're taking on celebrating America.
It's a little hard to be patriotic these days.
Right. But whatever you're doing, I hope you had a wonderful weekend, having a wonderful day whenever you're listening to this.
Fried some wieners, barbecued some wieners.
Yeah, did you do anything for 4th of July?
I fried some wieners.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah, I fried some wieners. Is a dinner,
them,
basically.
Grilled
no,
them?
I grilled them, barbecued. I keep saying fry instead. I don't know. Can you? Is frying a hot dog?
Dude. Yeah,
like deep frying a hot dog?
You know what it's called? A corn dog.
Well,
Sure.
okay. Is that really the process where you just? I thought that would be like a breading process.
You put batter on it and then you put it in the fryer.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, no, I had an interesting 4th of July.
Why aren't they called fry dogs?
I don't know. We could start that if you want.
Fry dogs?
Why are they called corn dogs?
We sell corn dogs, but we call them fry dogs, and we like trademark it.
Welcome to the Thicc and Gutter fry dog stand.
We're switching. Yeah, this is a fry dog podcast. We don't talk about movies anymore.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
All the varieties of fry dogs.
Not
how
only
many are
fry
there?
Dogs, but every podcast is like a different way to make a hot dog.
Yeah,
and it's like an hour-long thing. It's like, all right, today we're gonna teach you how to cut a hot dog perfectly, so you get 10 little pieces each and every time. You know,
it'd be funny to do like a cooking tutorial, but it's just a podcast and there's no visuals,
right.
So everyone just doesn't quite know how to do it. I don't know. I feel like a cooking tutorial, it's necessary to see it. So
yeah,
sure. I feel like you only get some of the information.
I mean, I guess if you read instructions.
That's true. You can read read a cooking book.
You need pictures.
Yeah.
I need pictures.
You need pictures. But I guess it's not essential. So maybe cooking podcasts are a thing. Maybe we have a business plan here.
I got what's her name?
Martha Stewart?
Martha Stewart.
Yeah, Paula Dean.
Yeah, one of those Guy Fieri. One of those corn balls. Definitely on the podcast.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of those shows before?
No, I've never watched them. I've never had television, and those aren't really shows that you seek out when you don't have television.
Especially for a child.
Yeah.
I would love to meet a kid age 15 years old who's comes home from school every day and is tuning in to Martha Stewart.
I can't wait to see the new episode of Martha Stewart.
Funny is there's a show. This show has always baffled me. My mom watches it, and it's on the Food Network. You know, Iron Chef and all those stuff.
That's the competition stuff,
yeah,
right?
it's like that. It's like the contestants get pancake mix, a toaster, and fucking hot dogs, and it's
I kind of like stuff like
that. Cake, and you're it's like that.
Yeah,
so it's super high stress.
Sure, yeah.
So they had that show, but with children. So it's like Iron Chef Junior. So it's like these 12-year-olds cooking, and,
oh my God.
Making insanely good meals, and I'm just how did they get into this? How did they their 12-year-old brain was I just love cooking, and they're fire at cooking.
My first question is, did that show start because there's some genius 12-year-old chefs, or did the kids become genius chefs because that show started?
Right. That's a good question. I would think that there are prodigy chefs out there. You know,
there's prodigy everything, so there's gotta be
right?
like there's
Exactly.
gotta
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
prodigy fryman, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. And like, it's pretty. I've only watched a couple episodes of that. I don't like game shows at all.
Yeah.
There's dude. Speaking of game shows, this has been a hot topic amongst my friends the past like weekend.
Yeah.
Have you been on Have you been on Netflix lately?
Are you gonna talk about The Floor is Lava?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen this shit?
I've seen that it is the #1 most watched thing.
You
and
need to watch it. It might be the worst like editing I have ever seen. Like in anything.
It's like a live game show, right?
Yeah,
like or a reality game
live,
show.
So what it is like, you know what American Ninja Warrior is?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's like that, but like, you know, when you're kids, like I did.
Yeah, the Floor is Lava game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so they took that concept. We're like, all right, let's get a bunch of idiots, like normal people, like teachers, fucking, you know, just normal people, and let's like build this obstacle course, like that looks like a living room, and they like do these obstacles,
dude.
And the funniest part about it is like the way that they do it is the lava. It's like red, like liquid and like goo, and when they fall into the lava, they like disappear. Like it looks like they die. Like,
that's kind of so interesting.
Funny, dude. It is such a funny show. Like it's horrible. Like it's one of those things that's like so bad that it's good. Like it's like The Bachelor, you know, for me. I got really, I don't know if I ever told you about this before. But
I got into The Bachelor?
I got really into The Bachelor.
Yeah, you've never told me that before.
Like I got really into The Bachelor. Not The Bachelor, but The Bachelorette one year.
Wow.
I don't like The Bachelor because The Bachelor is a bunch of girls.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, The Bachelor is a
right, because The Bachelor is talking about the one person there is.
Right, exactly, right. and so guys, so it's a bunch of these like dumb girls like fawning over the guy, which isn't really appealing to me. Like trying like a bunch of girls fighting a guy. Like there's no appeal to me. But The Bachelorette, watching a bunch of dudes, like meathead dudes, try to like win this girl over. Dude, there's nothing funnier. In my opinion, like they're all meatheads. They're all just so dumb.
I bet that show's homoerotic as fuck, isn't it?
It can be. It definitely can be. But like what I love about it is like the best parts of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette is like I don't really care about them going on the dates like individually. I love it when the cameras are just on all the contestants and they're all in a house and they all have beef and they all like are like they all like hate each other and they're like fighting for this girl. It's so like it's so absurd. And also I'm just like and I also get a lot out of it just on a filmmaking standpoint. I'm not kidding, like the editing of those shows is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Because the way that they're able to... Because that whole reality TV is editing. That's it.
Yeah.
And to see like an editor like
that's a great point.
Like a story out of basically like nothing, it's incredible. It's like it's not like fucking, you know, amazing, but you're like, how the fuck are they doing this? Like there's drama, there's like fucking it's all in the editing.
That's so true. Because like on a Martin Scorsese film, yes, the editing's amazing on a Martin Scorsese film, but he's also creating scenes. Every scene that's being set up is something interesting, and then you put the interesting things together in a meaningful way, which is hard on its own. But with reality TV, most of the time what you're filming is a bunch of idiots standing in the room doing fucking nothing. And then you take a shot of someone like sneezing and you turn it into them like having an angry breakdown. That's what it is. And it's great. That's so true.
But also like I mean also The Bachelor and like all these shows they you know it's not real. I mean like they come up with like all these things. But I just love like seeing like like, I love talking to people who watch The Bachelorette. They're like, "Oh, fuck Stacey," or "Fuck Brittany." It's like I like these. I like just what like how the showrunners have to decide who's gonna win the show, and I just
Yeah.
think it's so funny. Like the
Yeah.
ones that they choose are like that fucking guy, like that.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, man. And also, there's always, like on every season of, I don't really watch it anymore, but on every season of The Bachelorette, there is this one guy that is just, I mean, like, should be in a mental hospital. Like, he's
Yeah.
just so dumb. And just
Yeah.
like, because because they pick these people to be on the
Yeah.
show. It's not like
Yeah.
so they choose these
They
just
seek out the
dumb.
craziest
The,
idiot
like,
possible.
okay, let's pick the dumbest guys we possibly could pick, and then pick like one guy who's kinda with it, but
Yeah.
they're all hunks. I mean, they're all just, beefcakes. They're all
Yeah.
just, just so. They're just so. No one. They're not gonna. I'm not gonna be on the Bachelor or Bachelorette. Like they're not
Yeah.
gonna. Or you or me. If we walk
Yeah.
into
No.
if we walk into the room, they're gonna be like, yeah,
Turn
get out of
around.
here. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you later, buddy. It's like, but I want to find love. It's like, no, you're not. Go find love somewhere else. This
Not on
isn't
my
for you.
set, bitch. The only
But yeah, dude, you should watch The
reality
Floor is Lava. It's incredible.
I will. The only other reality show I've ever seen was I watched RuPaul's Drag Race for a while. I went through a period of watching that.
Yeah.
That was entertaining.
That's
as
actually
fuck.
really funny. I love that you watched that.
It was really entertaining.
The reality TV, it's pretty entertaining. I mean, like, sometimes,
Yeah.
like, it's pretty entertaining, because sometimes I just like seeing, because a lot of these shows are about dummies, and just weird people. So it's just cool to see the lives of really weird people,
The thing with reality TV, I don't know if it's the way it's presented or just the general concept, but it becomes corrosive to your brain after a while.
Oh, yeah.
Where you just start to feel yourself melting. It's a very specific feeling that I feel. It's similar to, I mean, it's the same way I feel whenever I just watch television with a lot of advertisements and commercials
in it. Yeah, that's
like
another thing.
After I watch a football game and I don't turn off the advertisements, or if I watch the commercials, I feel like I've lost so many brain cells.
I know, and also, like, I think that's the real reason why streaming is fucking taking off. Because, dude, commercials are horrible. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're just so bad. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, like, most of what you're watching is commercials. Like, they show, like, there's 10 minutes of the show, then they cut to, like, 5 minutes of commercials, right? Okay, kill me, and then they do it again. And then they do it, like, 3 times in one 30-minute episode.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think maybe this isn't true, but
It's just
I feel
so
like it might have
dated,
been... Yeah, and it
This
might have been the
feels
case.
so ancient now when you sit down and watch, like, Friends, a rerun of Friends on TBS at 8 in the morning, and you just see an ad for TGI Fridays. You're like, I'm not going to TGI Fridays, right?
Let me watch Friends and be miserable on this Friday night.
Yeah, exactly.
3 a.m.
And then there's an ad for some, like, mattress company that were some big fat guys like, hey, I mean, I love this mattress. Like, dude, I already got a mattress. Like, I don't need. And then the next one is something like the ShamWow, and then you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. But like,
every time there's always
once in a while you're like, whoa.
There's always a sneaky ShamWow in every binge.
I gotta see.
Calling up that number.
I like the trailers for movies.
555 ShamWow 08.
Yeah.
Call that number right now. Punch in that as soon as you see it on the television screen.
The best things ever are the infomercials that are like 30-minute long commercials. You ever see one of those?
I want to see your presentation of it.
There was a whole channel, like, back when I was, like, a kid, that was just commercials. I'm not even kidding. It was It was all
What's the business?
infomercials.
What's the plan on that? That people will accidentally flip through and see an advertisement and be like, I fucking hate this channel.
Yeah.
And then you think up and you have a situation,
they're
a law
very,
person.
I mean, you've seen them probably parodying a bunch. It's just a bunch of ads on the screen that are like, how much is this product? And like,
Yeah.
the person is like, literally going step by step on this like beautiful vacuum cleaner that you can only get for $50 in this limited edition if you call right now, you know, and they just say the same shit for 30 minutes, and they're like, and I just, every time I think of that shit like that, I'm like, dude, like, can you imagine, like, being the guy, like, that's your job. It's like, oh, well, gotta go try to sell this vacuum cleaner at 3 a.m.
Oh, dude, no.
You know?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I can't
think now. Or like morning TV. Like, who's watching morning TV? You know, like, do you even know what I'm talking about? Like, those morning talk shows?
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
I bet, okay. Next time you wake up.
Okay.
Like, if you wake up at, like, when do you wake up? Like, 8?
I wake up at 8:30.
Right. When you wake up, if you probably have basic cable in your house, right? Okay,
no.
Anyway, if you did, everybody who's listening, other than Jesse,
I can't.
if you wake up at, 8:30, you don't even have Fios or anything, you just have basic cable. And you turn on the local channel, like 8:30 in the morning, local channel. There's probably a Good Morning Cleveland or Good Morning Pittsburgh. That's like these fucking just cornbread, white.
I could probably look it up
probably
online.
women, talking about nothing.
Yeah.
for like 45 minutes. And they're designed for people who are like getting up and getting coffee and got to go to work. We want some entertainment with some nice folk,
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Horrible. Yeah.
I mean, when you're in a situation like in the movies, right? The way that this is presented to make this a romantic and wonderful thing is that in the movies, you get up and you hear your local newsman, who's a nice guy who you have coffee with every once in a while. You see around town, but now
that's what they're making fun of that. That's what Anchorman is.
Yeah. So like you it used to be that when you could get up, it would be like talking. It'd be a little piece of home, It'd be part of the routine and part of your life there. But now it's just some fucking schmuck who's up there doing that. You don't know. You don't fucking know who they are. They don't fucking care about you, And the people back then doing morning talk shows, maybe they even like their job, because they're doing something that they know people are listening to.
Well,
and now no one knows that. They know, like, those people must know that no one's listening to them, and whoever is listening to them is probably fucking miserable.
Yeah. Exactly. You're totally right. Like, oh my god, man.
If you listen to that stuff and enjoy it genuinely,
I don't think anybody
we're here to talk.
I don't think
thickandbutter@gmail.com.
No one who is listening to this podcast wakes up every morning and watches Good Morning Reno, or Good Morning San Antonio, or Good Morning El Paso.
Let's do this is the lamest challenge ever, but we'll have a challenge where we get up and we listen to the local morning show every day. And we'll see what our psychological state is.
And then we come
at the end of the week.
And then we start doing the podcast. Like, Chrissy on a Good Morning Pittsburgh was talking about making the perfect taco. And I'm going to show you how to make.
Is that what they talk about? Yes. They don't even talk about like news and stuff?
That's like cooking shows. They get like they usually get like a local chef. It's like, I'm going to teach you how to make stromboli. And then, it's like something like dumb like that,
If it was something cool, like if it was like unique things happening in the local community.
Okay, if there was a morning show at 8 in the morning, what would it have to be to get you to watch?
I mean, I would want a morning show that would be dedicated to updating me on all the artistic things happening, right? Like if there was some guy in my local community,
right?
Like if I was living in Boulder, I have
cool idea.
like.
Well, they're kind of designed for that too. They kind of like, there's probably a segment on one of these Good Morning shows. It's like, hey, go down the fucking, Tom's Crab Shack and get yourself a. They're playing, there's a new bluegrass band, like they announce things in your hometown.
But most of the time, like what it is, it's like I don't know if they just don't they just don't have culture or if there's nothing going on. But whenever I see stuff like that, even though I've never seen these shows, but when I see things, how I imagine it is people being like, yeah, she saw Johnny playing his bucket again. Go on, take a gander, throw some pennies in his hat. He's doing God's work out there, folks.
Yeah.
Old Joe and his bucket.
Speaking of news,
sure.
I wanted to ask you. Kanye 2020.
Is he actually running?
Did you not see the news?
I thought that was a joke. I thought all those Kanye things were just memes. He's actually running?
Well, supposedly, he had a tweet. That kind of announced that he was running for president.
Oh my God.
So who knows?
Okay.
Here's this is. So now you're not. So you're telling me that you're not going to vote for Kanye. Is what you're telling me.
Well, I didn't even know it was an option. I got to process this a little bit.
Oh, so you're thinking about it.
Well,
you got to process it.
How can Kanye even enter the race at this point?
I don't know.
What would he be run as? Would he run as a Republican? Because he can't. Because Trump is the Republican.
True.
Like he can't run as a Republican. Is he running as an independent?
Probably.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's the most batshit thing I've ever heard in my life.
Like it was also a tweet.
Yeah.
He said something like, here, I'm trying to pull up the tweet. Hold on. It got 1 million likes. 1 million on Twitter. Insane.
Yeah.
Kanye disappointed me because, he put out this song, awesome song called Wash This in Blood. Great song. And then I was like, oh, cool, he's going to make an album. And the next tweet was like, Kanye, 2020. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, this is what he's doing. So this is what he said. This has 1.1 million likes now.
Damn.
It says, we must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future. I am running for president of the United States. So it was like a pretty official tweet. Didn't sound like a joke to me.
Yeah, that doesn't really sound like a joke. We need someone who knows what's going on. I wish we Jeremy.
The first tweet under is Anthony Fantano, and this tweet has 30,000 likes. He responded to this and he said, "Fuck it, I'm running too." And it's like,
I would vote. I vote for Fantano.
I saw that, man. And it's just like, it's funny to joke about, but it's also horrifying.
Yeah.
Because, the only reason he's running for fucking president is to sell his Yeezys.
Yeah.
What? You really think that Kanye West is going to be like, no, I want to make America great? He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. He just partnered with The Gap.
Yeah.
The Gap.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that, that's the scary part, right? It's like, I'm going to become president so I can sell my shoes.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. This isn't going to happen. People, it's not going to happen. It's a meme. He might run, but he's not going to win. So don't get too scared.
Yeah.
Not going to win.
The thing that I think is extra hilarious, crazy, ironic, use whatever adjective fits in for this situation. This is not nearly the craziest thing I've heard all year.
Sure. Right.
Like it's one of the weirder things I've heard, but like it's not the headline that has shook me the most.
I just think it's funny now. If I literally see like if I'm skateboarding, a month later, like in August, and I'm skateboarding down my street, and I see a Kanye 2020 sign in somebody's yard or something, then I'm gonna call you and say, hey, I'm moving to Canada. I'm deleting everything. I'm not gonna talk to anybody else. This country's gonna blow up in the next year, so I'm out.
Let me be honest with you though. a debate between Donald Trump, Kanye, and Biden, I would kill for tickets for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would
But here's
kill to see
Here's
that
the
debate.
thing. It's funny for a minute, and then when Kanye wins, we have a psychopath as our president. Like,
I
a
know.
bona fide, he is bipolar. Like, severely bipolar. We have a person, dude, having a manic president, like, what if he's in a manic state and he's the president of the United States?
I mean, we kind of have a manic president. Donald Trump is kind of manic. I don't really know what manic means.
Worse.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man.
There's too many. You really think that they're like think about the voting public. Think about the voting public. They're all white people, old white people mostly.
Yeah.
You really think they're going to be like, this Kanye guy? I'm going to vote for him. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Trump or Kanye, they're going to vote for Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Kanye
it's just
is not going to. Dude, that would just be what a turn of events if that happens.
I do. I am
but here's the thing, though. We also got Trump.
I know. Yeah, we all said that about Trump.
Trump started running for president, I was like, dude, this is hilarious. Like, what the hell's going on? And look where we are now. So, I really don't know.
I mean, I kind of want to see what happens. I want to see what happens if Kanye ran. That's I'm curious to see what the human race would do.
Yeah. Me too.
I am so curious to see what would happen.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely horrifying because I would be watching presidential footage probably more than I ever would, but I'd be watching it as reality TV, not as politics anymore.
Exactly.
So what are we? We're at a force of what America is then. We're literally a fucking joke of ourselves.
So bad. It's so bad. But hey, let's transition. Because we talk about movies on this podcast. We're trying to be entertaining. We talk about films. I don't want to talk about Kanye possibly destroying the country.
Yeah.
Let's talk about an American classic.
Let's talk about American classic.
So, last week, we talked about Candyman, which is up on the podcast now. You're listening to this. The audio portions in the description, if I forgot to mention that. Look in the description. There's some cool shit in there.
All kinds of things. Porn, for example. So many porn.
The porn that we made.
That's funny. That's really funny because I had a conversation with our cinema professor about that. That actually came up in my conversation. I'm not kidding.
About the porn that he made?
No, it was about a porn. He made a joke about because he was talking about how I needed to buy my domain name, like jesselanier.com.
Right.
And he was saying I pitched that we do a podcast together since he knows you too. And he was saying and he was saying if you don't buy the domain name for like thickandbutter.com, which I just did, so no one can do it anymore, then if you don't do it, then I'll buy it and I'll put porn on it. And I was just like, hey, it's a branding as advertising. And he was just like, I don't know, maybe that's part of the show.
I'm not gonna lie, I mean, Thick and Butter, I mean, that's a porn name.
I know.
It kind of is.
Gay porn.
This is the first time that I ever thought of that. I mean, I'm missing that one, so I mean,
at least once.
At least once.
Dude, that's a one-click wonder for sure.
Yeah. I've never heard of that. One-click wonder. That's amazing.
Maybe we try to make our hub site like a meat spin or something and try to get internet famous from that, and then we never talk about it again. So we just have a movie podcast.
And then the website just changes to the podcast.
Family friendly fun where we talk about movies.
That's a great idea.
You spin me right round.
Anyway, last week I mentioned like summer blockbusters and like, we gotta talk about new summer blockbusters because but I didn't realize, I forgot when I started watching this, and you did too, that this movie's set during 4th of July. I probably chose it like subconsciously because I've seen this movie so many times.
Yeah.
Clearly, We're talking about Jaws. I haven't even said it. Jaws.
Jaws!
Came out in 1975.
Three?
Five.
Fuck.
Close. And it's directed by probably the most profitable. Is he? I don't think so.
I don't
right?
know the statistics, but I think I've seen that he's
up there.
or James Cameron. I think James Cameron might have made more money.
Or Nolan's up there.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if he's that high. He's made money, but I don't know if he's made nearly as much as Cameron or Spielberg.
Well, he doesn't have nearly as many movies.
Right.
But no, I'm pretty sure Cameron. He's got 2 in the $1 billion club. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Anyway, but Steven Spielberg, right? He's one of the most iconic filmmakers of all time. He's made some of the most iconic movies of all time. And Jaws is the one that, set him on the path of the films that he would later make in the 80s, like Indiana Jones, Close Encounters, E.T. I can go on and on and on and on,
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk about this movie because this is a childhood favorite of mine. I've had a poster of Jaws in my room ever since I was 11 years old. I love this movie. I have that same poster. I've had it for 10 years. It's got rips in it. It's got stings on it. It doesn't look great,
Yeah.
But it's part of my. This is part of my DNA, this movie.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, this movie, if I hadn't seen this movie as a young 11-year-old twinkie boy, I probably wouldn't be making this podcast, Like, I probably wouldn't be as in the cinema as I am today if I hadn't seen this classic film. So, I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. And it's significant, for the reason that many, many millions of other Twinkie boys have had that same experience and are here today making movies or trying to make movies or sucking dick and trying to make movies, all the whole spectrum, all thanks to Jaws.
But also, this is a truly influential movie just in terms of like film history as well, that we'll probably get into as well, because this is considered the first blockbuster film, which technically it's not, but like technically it is, but like there are other movies that came out that were fucking huge, but that like Gone with the Wind, or Wizard of Oz, that were huge cultural phenomenons, but this movie was kind of a next level of that. People were literally busting the block.
It's where the term comes from.
Yeah, and rewatching it last night. This is one of those movies. There's a couple movies in my lifetime that I know from the back of my head. I wrote down on my notes. I was like, I think I know every single scene in this movie. Every new scene started, I was quoting lines from it.
Yeah.
Like it's that level.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you
mean. And so let's get into it. I don't even know where to start. But
I don't think we need to start with a synopsis because I think that would be overdoing it.
If you haven't seen this movie, I mean, get on it.
Let me also introduce my
history.
my history with Jaws, and then some of the initial comments, and maybe that will spark a further conversation on how to delve into this. Because I did not have a traditional relationship with Jaws like many. I was not like the typical twink boy enjoying Jaws in his bedroom. I've only seen this movie. This is the second time I've seen it. Can you believe that? I've only seen Jaws twice.
Dude, I've seen this movie so many times. I don't even know how many times I've seen it.
I might have seen it 3 times, but I'm pretty sure I've only seen it twice. And so for me growing up, it wasn't
an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it wasn't hugely influential. It's not an ingrained part of my life.
I like that. I like that.
For me, there's a lot.
I was gonna say when we got into this that I'm excited to hear kind of someone's thoughts on this movie that hasn't, because I watched this as like so much nostalgia for it, and
Yeah, totally.
like something like. So I have like I don't want to say like rose tinted glasses on, but like I it means a lot to me,
And I
So
mean, and when you see something that many times, your opinions on it almost become automatic. You don't really think about what you think about it. You just know how you feel about it.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to even articulate it.
Yeah.
Um, So it was, and this was the first time I've seen it when, after being conscious and knowing film for sure.
Right.
When I first saw it, I was really more seriously getting into film. So I watched it and I saw the vertigo effect, and I was like, ooh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, but I saw it, I saw it on an even deeper level this time.
Yeah.
I feel.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool.
And I really fucking enjoyed this movie the second time watching it.
It's I mean, it's one of those things too that I'm so happy that I still like this movie. Like there's some like childhood things that we definitely mentioned on this podcast that I rewatched. Like I gotta see this. I remember.
Yeah, totally.
This movie is just so well made. Like it's. I mean, it also is so interesting to talk about kind of how this movie kind of laid the groundwork for kind of blockbusters to come later.
Dude,
And
it's
really
stupid. It's stupid how much of an impact this film has had. It's literally, it seems unreasonable how much that this film has permeated every other film that has come after it. More so than like most. I don't know if I have seen another movie that has been more influential, at least in the brands of movies that I normally see. Like I see Jaws in everything I have watched.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's just one of these landmark films that it's interesting because like I'm a big Spielberg fan, especially like his early film. I think the guy was. I mean, he clearly was such a interesting. Like he was so. No one like him was kind of like the way that he tells stories, especially with like Jaws and like stuff like this, was so like the only word that I could think of was like efficient, and like he, it's just interesting that because I'm such a fan of him and I've seen so many of his films so many times, I love rewatching this movie because it's his first film, and then like hearing about like the making of this movie.
Hey. I've never seen your dad in uniform before. Is that on the video? Could the camera see that?
I don't think the camera saw it, no.
Damn. Big boy Dave just made a cameo.
But like hearing like the making of it too, like he was can you believe he was 25 years old when he made this movie?
You're fucking kidding me.
Yes. And also
he directed this movie when he was 25?
25 years old, yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's 3 years from how old I am.
He made Raiders when he was 30.
Fuck, dude.
I mean,
fuck.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, this is just insane. Like, the guy, was immensely talented, and so let's just get into it. Let's just fucking get into it.
Yeah.
So the main thing that I love about this movie, and it's permeated into my criteria of what I like about movies, is the characters, man. The characters in Jaws are so goddamn good. I mean,
there's not a dud,
so good.
Not a single dud character.
And also, it's interesting because the making of this movie was famously hell. It was famously, like, Spielberg still talks to this day about when he thinks about making this movie, he gets like night terrors. Because it was such a traumatizing experience for him.
Yeah.
Because the shark didn't work a lot of the times, and we'll probably get into like that was a benefit that the robot wasn't working a lot because of how he shows the shark in this movie, and how I don't think the John Williams score would be a thing if they had to hide the shark and they had to create a way to create this suspense without showing the mechanical shark.
Yeah.
But with that, I think came with, well, we gotta make these characters so likable because that's gonna be the draw of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
sure, the shark is cool, but I want to see Clint, Hooper,
Yeah.
and Brody or Brody. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to see them interact. That's
Yeah.
what I love about Jaws. It's not the man-eating shark, which is awesome, but it's the characters that keep bringing me to this movie, even you know, 10 years later since I saw it for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the characters being done so well, it
Great
also
performances too,
it also
iconic
means
performances.
yeah. It also means that the world building was done really well,
So
because that was
yeah,
part of but that's part of writing good characters, I would say, is that when you have a good character, part of is how tied and in the world that you have built for them they are.
right,
And
right,
Brody, even though his backstory of being like a New York cop, maybe that was in an early draft of the film,
yeah,
it's mentioned and he's that character, but
right,
it's not relevant at all,
right,
and
right.
all like
I
the
mean,
situation of this town so
yeah,
well. And
right.
even though it's a really simple setup, it has so many intricacies and
Mm-hmm.
layers of politics and emotions.
Right.
And then it's just really it's not overcomplicated,
Right.
but it's just interesting enough to
And
keep you
also, I
all the
think
way
like
through.
totally, and I think what you're getting at too is that the script of this movie doesn't waste time at all.
Mm-mm.
Like it. Well, I mean,
No.
let's just talk about the opening scene, which is like one of the
Yeah.
most iconic opening scenes in cinema history.
That first shot actually really surprised me. I'm sorry to interrupt,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
first shot I saw that and I was like, "Wow, this was made in the
I
70s,
know,
dude."
right?
Because and I
Their
also laughed
outfits are
because
all like
yeah,
looking,
dude, they're fucking hippies. We start with hippies
yeah,
on the beach and they're
yeah,
passing a joint
right,
around. I
right,
didn't fucking know that when I first
right,
saw that. I just
right.
realized this. It's like, "Whoa."
Yeah,
You think of
yeah,
you think
totally.
of you think of E.T. when you think of Spielberg, but you
Sure.
forget that this movie was
Kind of.
and I mean, it's not like extremely experimental, but it still surprised me just to see
Yeah,
a
yeah,
joint
yeah.
and hippies.
Totally, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so, the opening scene of this movie is, I mean, it's so iconic that like
Yeah.
even talking about it is kind of funny, but it's this great shot with this random guy who's looking at this girl and showing that telling that's like,
Yep.
I like you, you like me, let's go skinny dipping. And the
Yeah.
girl, they're drunk and the girl goes in the water and she's naked. And I remember you texting me, it's like, man, you see a lot of shit. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
man,
She was
PG
fucking
was wild.
vag naked. You saw her you saw her pubes, dude.
Yeah,
They're in a
I mean,
triangle.
PG was wild back then. I mean,
Yeah.
like PG,
Yeah.
parental guidance. That's all you
Yeah.
needed.
You didn't see a nipple and you didn't see
No, it
her
was
actual
really,
vag.
really, really well hidden. Yeah.
But you obviously she was very
She's
naked and she
I
was
mean, I
not
remember,
wearing
dude,
underwear.
imagine 11-year-old Alex watching this movie.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa. I mean, this was
Hello.
probably the first time I saw a naked lady in a movie.
So was this
You know?
before or after the upside down Spider-Man kiss thing?
I think it was around the same time.
Okay.
It was probably after, I would say, probably, but very little after.
I would love it if your sexual awakening didn't happen when you saw this, the naked woman in the water, but you needed the component of a beautiful woman and Spider-Man to ignite your
Yes.
sexual awakening.
I think that's what it was, though. Yeah.
For example, if Spider-Man was in the water with a naked woman, oh my god.
Oh, dude,
Oh god. Save your
forget about
towels,
it.
stockpile them. We're going to
Forget
need some
about
help. Anyways, you were talking about why this opening scene's iconic.
But, so she's in the water and the guy's drunk and that awesome shot. You see the sun kind of going down. It's beautiful, beautifully. I watched this on the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray looks fantastic. Really, really, really good transfer.
Yeah.
Like we said last time. But so he can't get his clothes off and because he's too drunk and she is, and we get that classic shot of the POV shot of the shark underwater and the gung, 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 gung. I mean, dude, to you, there's no more iconic music than that. I mean, there really isn't. It's like you hear that, you're like, Josh, immediately,
Yeah.
you just know. And this is like also the start of John Williams' career.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see these, like, it's cool to still watch this movie and how good it really is because, like, think about what John Williams did, like later in his career. And he fucking did Star Wars, and this is where he
Yeah.
started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
he's made
totally.
so many iconic things that it's just mind
Oh,
blowing. You know?
oh my God, this is a bit of a digression, but talking about famous composers, I'm really glad I remembered this because I wanted to mention it. Ennio
Yeah.
Morricone,
R.I.P.
he
Yes,
died
I was gonna say
today.
that too. Yeah.
Ugh,
R.I.P. Man.
there's a lot when I see a celebrity dies, it's
He's
always a
one of
little
my
bit.
favorite composers of all time.
Yeah, it's bittersweet to see any celebrity or anybody's die in the news,
Yeah.
but there's only been a couple celebrities that have actually emotionally hit me. Robin
Yeah.
Williams was one of them, and
Yeah. Yeah.
this one bummed me
Yeah.
out this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys don't know who he is, he's composed music for. I mean, probably another iconic Good, the Bad, the Ugly, the Sergio Leone
The
films, The
Thing. I didn't know he
Thing.
did
The
The
Thing is
Thing.
an incredible score.
So good.
He's an incredible composer.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking awesome. But yeah, he died at the age of 91 today. He
Which is
got up there though.
that's a good life.
He's a
That's a
good
good
life.
fucking life.
But yeah, anyway.
John
So
Williams.
yeah, so that opening scene sets the tone so well. Like one of
Yeah.
the things that I love in that scene is when the shark bites her, she bogs under, and then
Yeah.
when she goes straight under, the music just stops. It becomes
Yeah.
silent,
Yeah.
and like there's something like even to this day when I watch it, I still get suspense. It's still like
Yeah.
kind of like because it's just this bombastic bang 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 bang, and then it just cuts
Yeah.
out and you don't see blood, you don't see anything. And there's something, and I think a lot of things in this movie is still so deeply, because you're thinking about what it looks like down there. You're thinking
Yeah.
about what she looks like.
Yeah. And we were
Um,
talking about how like with Jurassic Park, how Steven Spielberg is really good at when he has the cheap jump scare, right?
right.
Cheap. He's
Yeah.
still able to make it that for some reasons his jump scares still work even if you've seen it a lot of times. And I think it's
Mm-hmm.
part of the fact that it's not just about creating a situation and then an alarming thing with a loud sound. He does it where he puts you in situations that already make you uneasy. So it's a girl in the water at night with no
Right.
one else around to help her,
Right. Exactly.
and then something is happening to her, and it's a
Right.
movie called Jaws with the shark at the beginning.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Right.
you're thinking you're like, so you're already really anxious about
Yeah.
stuff like about
Right.
that. It's in your
Totally.
brain.
Yeah. And then after that, we cut to like this is another thing about the script of how tight it is, and
Mm-hmm.
how we are introduced to Brody is that he hears about the shark attack. It's not
Yeah.
like we don't see a scene of him like you know he wakes up. He has a great moment with Lorraine Gray, who plays his wife, who I think is excellent in this movie, and it's funny because she's excellent in this movie. And then if you watch Jaws 4, The Revenge. She just forgot how to act. But
Yeah.
but
Good actors in the hands of bad directors, you can have atrocities. Natalie Portman has been
absolutely. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
bad situations.
And you get, and this is so, like world building too in the scene where he gets the call, he has like two phones, you see that, he answers the wrong phone and he picks up the other phone and
Yeah.
he's like tells him about this, this washed up body. And when he's running through Amityville and, it's, which is one of the most iconic, movie like towns of all time. It's just great, cool little beach town. And then, you know, like he just, it's the start of Fourth of July weekend.
Yeah.
All these things are introduced just visually, and him just talking to the villagers, the townspeople,
The Islanders.
the islanders, yeah, and when he gets to the beach, you don't see the body,
Yeah.
and all you see is their reactions.
Yeah, the
And
cops' reaction.
yes, and there's something, it's scary. It's you're tense because all you see is just crabs on top of this body, and you're like, oh, dude, this must be horrible.
Yeah, I wanna also just bring back. You already mentioned this about how he's so excellent at show don't tell. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm a little frustrated by how that's just that phrase is thrown around really liberally.
Sure.
You know, a lot of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about will just say show don't tell. You know, I get that from teachers all the time. You know, so many writing teachers are saying show don't tell. It's like fuck off and tell me what I need to do. Actually, right. Anyways, this is
How do I write this damn paper? God damn it.
But if you in filmmaking, if you really want to get a good, easy, accessible way of show don't tell, I think Jaws is a great movie. It's an iconic movie for it because literally you don't need any sound in Jaws. You can take out. I think you should listen to it with the music and the sound design. But you take out all of the dialogue. Literally take out all of the dialogue, and you know what's happening.
So iconic, but I totally understand.
The dialogue is something on top of it. It's what makes it phenomenal, right? But that's the part of the reason why the dialogue is so genius is because unlike films like I'll use Infinity Wars and Avengers and stuff, you need the dialogue in those movies. It's very visual movies, but you need the exposition. But again, exposition is not bad when you can do it with the camera. Then you're doing good shit. Hitchcock taught us that, and Spielberg knows how to fucking do exposition with the camera.
Heavily inspired by Hitchcock,
and you can really tell.
Hitchcock,
And this I think this Jaws almost felt like a graphic novel to me, more so than a lot of other movies I watched. Like movies are like it's like this film, just watching kind of like the Coen Brothers storyboards, where you could just look at the storyboards, which is very Hitchcock. Hitchcock did storyboards all the time. You know, it feels like that. It just feels like a comic book that's live, that's alive.
And I think like it's so interesting because I would have loved. Like, I wonder how much this movie would be different if the shark worked all the time. Because apparently, it worked, like, something like 10% of the time. And, like, they were going to show the shark, like, way more. Like, way more. And, like, it's interesting to see, like, that this movie, Spielberg always talks about that it was desperation. Like, that's how he was making this movie. Every day was, like, he had to come up with ways to, like, show, not, just make efficient shots. Every shot in this movie is efficient. It's not like, there's not a lot of lollygagging in this movie. It's very, very deliberately shot and deliberately paced, and so we get that. And then what I love about Brody is such a great character because he cares about the town. And and it seems like he's the only one that cares in this town.
Which interestingly, he cares about the safety of the town and them being okay, but he's the only person that doesn't actually care about the culture of the town, which is to be an island town to make money through tourism. But he doesn't fucking care about that. He's trying to be a heroic policeman who's keeping people from getting eaten by sharks.
And that is, introduced by the character of the mayor, who's like, I love that character. He's an awesome character. And he has, like, one of my favorite lines of all time where it's like, you yell shock,
You gotta panic at the 4th of July.
It's awesome. It's just one of those things where it's just, there's so many, we go on, there's so many lines in this movie that are just, I wrote a lot of them down that are just, that are so great. And like, because, what I also love is through that, Spielberg did such an amazing job of showing the panic of the town. Showing, like, one of my favorite scenes in this movie is, so basically Brody wants to shut down the beaches, and the mayor's like, no, we can't have that because it's 4th of July. We're not shutting down the beaches. Let's think about all the money we can make, baby. So it's like, but they have a town meeting, and I love that scene because, like, it shows so well, and it kind of reminded me of Corona right now.
Dude, I was going to fucking mention that. If you didn't.
Everybody is, everyone's like, go shut this down, like, blah, 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 especially, like, now, what's going on in the world today.
We're literally the people on the beach in Jaws. That's what we're in right now. We are the people on the beach in Jaws waiting before this pit of water that has reports of shark attacks, and everyone's saying, like,
exactly.
We just gotta move on. Go for a swim.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, I'm not getting in that fucking water.
Exactly. And so, and like, so I love that scene, and then, but yeah, like, he's so good at, and also with that, before that scene is like the vertigo scene, which is
Yeah.
like, another. It's just, I mean, it's like every scene of this movie is just so like, we watch it in film school, we talk about it. It's just
Yeah.
such a perfection. It's a simple story done so efficiently. And the scene, Brody, is paranoid. He's like, he's sitting on the beach with his wife, and Michael's there, and we get the death scene of Alex, the young.
Who's Michael?
Michael is the middle child,
Okay.
or
The older child.
the older child, yeah.
Okay.
And he's in the water, and Alex, that little boy, goes in the water with his mom.
Yeah, the second victim.
Yeah, right. And that scene, man, when I was a kid, I mean, scared the shit out of me. Scared the shit out of me. Because of the way it's shot. I love the way it's shot. Because you get this, he's like, Mom, can I go in the water? And she's like very protective of her child. So you kind of already like care about these two people because it's like, oh, it's just like a, mom and a kid. And you know something's going to go wrong because you're just like, why is Spielberg showing you this random kid? And so he goes in the water and he's on the raft and you see him go out on the raft, just a shot of him just pedaling out on the raft. And you get that long shot of him, with the shark, the shark and POV shot. And I love how we cut to Brody, and and people are trying to come up to him and talk to him.
And he's looking over his shoulder.
Over. It's just so iconic.
And another interesting thing about this to add in about the circumstances, it's not just a situation where a lesser film would just do it where you have the main character and you set up the victim, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the suspense of when the victim's going to get attacked.
Yeah, right.
So, but with this film, he adds in multiple potentials.
Yeah,
so then it becomes like a clue game of seeing which of these things. And he does it in this...
kind of like Brody, like kind of what Brody is kind of feeling in that moment.
Yeah. And he's trying to see who's the most vulnerable person. He's watching all these people at the same time. And he's doing it great because there's also... It's a genius sequence. I love how it's shot because instead of just cross-cutting, not cross-cutting, but just cutting from like an eyeline cut to see what he's looking at, he does a series of wipes, essentially, with people walking in front of him, which just adds... dynamics to it and makes it also makes it so you don't know how much time is passing because if it's just cuts it feels like it's immediate, but when you see those swipes, you just like, how long has he been there? How long has they been out in the water? When is it gonna happen?
Dude, it's excellent. And like the girl starts screaming and he like stands up and sees somebody on his shoulders and then we get that classic, him just this like fountain of blood. Which is like when I see it to this day, I kind of get like Vietnam flashbacks and seeing that for the first time when I was a kid because it's scary. I mean, like seeing because it's just the way Spielberg shot it and like that's a sequence where if the shark had worked, maybe we wouldn't have seen that. You know what I mean? Maybe we wouldn't have seen this almost like POV if you're standing on the beach and you're watching someone get eaten by a shark. Maybe it would have been more showy. You would have seen the shark like bite, the leg and who knows. But it was so much more effective of seeing this kid just
let me add in another thing about what I loved about not seeing the shark and the genius way that he decided to depict it was the various objects that represented where the sharks were, which instead of us seeing where it was, we saw what the character saw, which is what caused them anxiety because they decided. So the two things I'm thinking about is when we have those two side characters trying to catch him and you have the dock scene, with the dock that breaks off and you see it fucking turn around and come back.
With the whole egg scene with the barrels.
And the barrels.
Genius. Yeah, it's really, really
I
smart.
never thought that it would be intense to see barrels go underwater.
I know, right?
But it is. It really fucking works.
Yeah, we'll talk about the second half of the movie, but so what I love about like So after that, then we get the town hall meeting, and we get the introduction to, in my opinion, is top 10 movie characters
Yeah.
of all time. And that's Clint. I just I always loved that character, but even now, I'm just like, man, that guy is the coolest fucking dude.
I
Like
love that
Robert Shaw
character. I
is
love him.
so excellent in this
Yeah.
movie. Like he scratches his nails on the chalkboard, and he has that great monologue about ten G's. I'll catch the whole damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just walks off, and he's like this. What I love about Quint is he's like this mythical guy, like
Yeah.
on the island. Like everybody kind of looks at him like he's like a Captain Ahab thing,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, he's
and
literally
he's
Captain
very
Ahab.
much
Yeah.
based on that idea of like this hardened fisherman,
Yeah.
but he's lovable, and he has this like charm about him
Yeah.
that like you can't take your eyes off of him.
He reminds me of Thomas from
He does, yeah,
Lighthouse.
yeah, he does.
Again,
Totally,
it's
absolutely.
it's an Ahab character,
Absolutely, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
it's the same, the curmudgeon who's lovable and has flaws, and you discover things. So it's the same character.
I've
But
never. This is actually some people don't even know this, but this is actually based on a book. But written by Peter
yeah,
Benchley,
I did
which
know that,
I
but
know I never read the book, but I've heard the book isn't very good.
yeah,
I would like to read the book just because I'm such a fan of this movie, and I'd like to read what it's based on.
yeah,
But I wonder how Clint is in the book. I wonder how those characters
yeah.
are in the novel of this movie.
I would not be surprised if some characters were creations of Spielberg or the
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
screenwriter.
either.
I would not be
Yeah.
surprised, but
Yeah,
I don't
that's what I'm
know.
curious about.
I don't know.
Um, but then they call an oceanographer to
Oh
to
man, Hooper, who I love that character
Hooper.
too.
Awesome.
I
Another amazing
I
character.
always forget about him. Like
Yeah,
the one time I've seen it, I forgot that he
right.
existed.
I
But he
love
is.
Richard Rackles. Yeah, he's awesome.
It's really like I realized this time that it's really a story about those three guys. It's
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
Brody, Hooper,
Absolutely.
and Quint.
And that's what I was kind of saying at the beginning of this review is like that is what this movie is. Like
It's their relationship.
it's their relationship, and the way that he the first hour of this movie, like what people mostly like know bond of this movie is the last like hour, like the last like 45 minutes when they're on the boat, they're fighting the shark.
Totally,
And
totally.
but for me, the first hour is incredible on how it sets up all these characters and the commotion that's going on in the town.
Yeah,
And the introduction of Hooper is a great example again of how all of these townspeople are getting in the boats to go hunt the shark down, and
yeah,
Brody's like running around being like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? You can't have that many people on the boat." And like Hooper just kind of shows up and he's like, "Hey man," like and he just is not paying attention to him, and
yeah,
it's just and also Spielberg is amazing at staging. That's just something that I've always loved about his movies, the
yeah.
way that he
Right, right.
blocks his scenes. And that scene is incredibly well blocked. And also it kind of reminded me of some like Robert Altman stuff because like that scene especially where
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's really
there's
true.
a lot of people talking over each other, and the
Yeah.
way that it's all staged. I mean, sometimes people don't think about shit like how hard that is to do. Where there are
Yes.
so many shots and so many
Jesus. Yeah.
people on that dock, and how it's so much commotion. He captures what it's like to be in like a small town or small situation like
Yeah.
that, where everybody is just kind of trying to do their own thing.
Right, because when you watch it, you just think like, oh, the main characters are doing their thing, and then what's happening in the background is just what happens on this island. It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
no,
Yeah,
every
yeah, yeah,
single
yeah,
one
yeah.
of those people are a paid actor who
Right,
Steven
yeah, right,
Spielberg
exactly.
is
Yeah.
telling how they should
Right.
stand.
And also, it's just like also that, but also the way that he keeps Brody being involved in all of them. So like
Yeah.
he like has them talk to all these people, and it creates such a more realistic atmosphere, on this dock. And
Right,
I
which
love
and he
how
usually does it in one take, so not cutting
right,
it up. So
exactly,
it's not
right.
like you're seeing like him talk as in a close up, then you cut to
Yeah,
him talking to someone else, or even
it
just his
feels
arm.
very much in real time.
You
Yeah,
see him running around
right,
and bending over and grabbing
right,
things, like the scene
right.
when he's telling the people to say, "Hey, don't get on that boat; it's over
Right.
capacity." Then reaching over, it's
Right.
like you can't take fucking dynamite on there.
Yeah.
It's all
I
one
also
shot.
that's one of my favorite scenes too, where he tells Hooper like, "Hey, can you tell this guy to get off the boat?" And he walks up and he's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
Chief told me to get off his boat." It's like, ah, he's like,
ah,
"They're all
yeah,
gonna die,"
yeah.
he walks away.
Those are the
Yeah,
people who aren't wearing masks.
right. So true. Oh my god, so true. And then you see all the boats like going and chugging the water, and I've always liked the one like I've seen this movie so many times that I remember so many details of it, but
Yeah.
there's one boat that has like a lamb just hanging out on the front
Yeah, I
of
always
the
remember
boat.
that
I'm just like,
dog.
that's the life right there. But
Yeah. I'd
so
be
cute.
anxious if I was that fucking dog. That dog looked
Yeah, I
anxious
know
to
what I
me.
love about the dog is the dog was just chilling. The dog
Yeah,
was,
right.
but they're all chugging the water, throwing firecrackers in the water and trying to get
Yeah.
the sharks attention. And yeah, then yeah, and then we'll talk about when Hooper looks at the body, and I think that's an incredible
The
scene
boat
too.
scene? Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great scene.
well, no, like he looks at the victim, the first victim,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and that's
Oh,
another scene
yeah.
about reactions because Spielberg in this movie again, like is like we don't see what the body looks like until the end of that scene, until he pulls out the arm and we see the arm.
Dude.
All we hear about is Hooper just describing what it looks like, and it's more terrifying. I mean, that's just something that I like about horror films, or that's
Yeah.
just something that I'm way more interested in. Is sometimes you don't understand what you don't see,
You
right?
know,
So
that makes me think of a really really interesting thing about this movie, because what this movie's a blockbuster, right?
mhm.
And what blockbusters created, which this alongside this is part of the Hollywood Renaissance, which during the 70s there was this great dry period where movie business was fucking failing, and Steven
Yeah,
Spielberg
yeah.
basically came in
George
and cut, and
Lucas,
George Lucas and
all
Coppola.
those guys,
Yeah, so we
yeah.
had
Coppola, yeah,
Star Wars, Jaws, and The Godfather all come out,
yeah,
and it just
right,
sort of it revived the scene.
right,
So what came with that with this blockbusters, it was a shift from the experimental to the spectacle, right?
yeah,
But as you're talking about this, sure, Jaws is sort of a spectacle film because it's about a giant shark. The topic matter of
right,
it is, but
yeah.
how it's
How
presented,
killing a giant shark.
yeah. So the
Yeah,
concept that's a spectacle.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
how
It's a
this
monster movie.
yeah, but how this movie is made is really more about psychology and character
Yeah,
because of
right.
these reaction shots. It's
Exactly.
not about the
Yeah,
spectacle
yeah,
of the dead body. It's
yeah,
about
exactly.
how
Right,
is Hooper reacting
right.
to the dead body.
And that's why I always go back to the characters, because that's
Yeah.
why this movie is remembered. Is
Yeah.
because these characters are so iconic and so likable. They're all have a quirk to them. They all are
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen a character in cinema kind of like Hooper. I really never. I mean, the way
Yeah.
that Richard Dreyfuss plays that character is so unique to this movie.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I think that's a great analysis of it. I never even thought of that. But yeah, and also just like the way that he's describing it is just your text is like, what the fuck does this thing look like? And then when you
Yeah.
see it, you're like Brody. You're like, what the fuck, man? And also, like, that scene also brilliantly sets up the tension between Hooper and Brody. Like, what I love about the characters Brody, Clint, and Hooper is that they're all not one of them is Superman. They're not like perfect people. They
Right.
all kind of have issues with one another.
Yeah.
Hooper is very neurotic, and he's very like when he in there, Brody's about to light a cigarette. He's like, "Don't you fucking smoke in here,"
Yeah,
Like
sure. Yeah.
there's these like and also Clint. It's just he has such a different outlook on life than both of them,
Yeah.
so they clash really well, and that's why when you see those moments in the boat towards the end of the movie when they're showing the battle scars and
Yeah,
they're
right.
having a great time. You feel like they feel like real people. That's
Yeah,
just what I would say.
and I think the other thing that makes them feel like more than just side characters who are relevant to the plot. I think this is a really brilliant way that he has crafted these three characters, because it's still no argument that Brody is the main character.
Yes.
Quint and Hooper never encroach on that role.
Yeah,
never.
right,
Never do you
right.
mistake Hooper or Quint as saying, is this the main character now? Never.
Right,
It's
right.
always Brody. But
Right.
this film, they would not have defeated the shark if each of them did not add to it in every single way.
Yeah.
And help out and work together to get to a point where at the end, Brody was the one to kill the shark.
Right.
But they all, which makes him the hero, the final hero, which is appropriate for the arc of the story because it's Brody's arc.
Right.
But they all needed each other. And in most films, when you have the hero, you see that it's that everyone doesn't quite do it right, and it's the hero who figures it out.
Right.
That's not really what happens. He's the one who does it, Anthony. He's the one who finishes it off.
And what I love about the ending is that we'll get to, but he almost has to. He's not like it shit hits the fan, and he has to step up. It's not like.
And that's a real fucking hero. That's what a real hero is.
Brody is such an awesome character, and I love how they set up. One of my favorite things about him is the obsession that he has of the sharks. Like there's this. I love one of my favorite scenes is. Every scene, I love this movie. He there's a scene where he's reading up on sharks.
Yeah.
In the books, and he's like getting really scared and seeing all these shark wounds and
that's really good.
And I love about him is that character. You can see how much of a family man he is too, and how like when he sees Michael just sitting in the boat in the dock, he's like, "Get out of there!"
Yeah.
And his Lorraine Gray, his wife, is coming up and like, hey, come on, he's just sitting in the dock, and she sees that picture of the shark biting the boat.
Yeah, I love that
scene.
Yeah, that was a funny scene.
It's really great, and but like stuff like that, and the dinner scene is one of the cutest scenes ever when his son's mocking him. And,
that's a scene that I was looking at. It's like, man, this kid is ugly. Holy shit! I just realized it's like he looks like a goddamn goblin, dude. He looks like he's out of Trolls 2. He doesn't even look like he has eyes, and he's like all mouth, and his mouth is only gums.
He's cute. He's got big chunky teeth. He's cute.
I think he's spooky.
But like that scene's so awesome, though. Like it's just so cute. Him knocking him, and it's one of the most iconic scenes.
It's an endearing scene, even though he looks like a monster.
Jesus. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, and like that's a character moment.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
A great character moment. And when Hooper comes
give us a kiss.
Why?
Because I need it.
It's adorable. But what I love about that scene too is watching, like Spielberg brilliantly cuts to Lorraine Gray watching that, and she has this look of just like, dude, this is like, she doesn't smile. She has this look of, he really needs this, and like you can tell that she really cares about these people, like his, and Spielberg's always good at that. I mean, his films are so in tune with emotions, just the way he's just so in tune with, what a lot of filmmakers do, Scorsese included, colleague of his, having the camera evoke emotions, just through the camera movements and through the shot selections that he has, rather than characters saying, it's filmmaking.
I'm
101.
sad and upset.
Right, filmmaking 101. But it's beautiful,
and most people don't do it right. They don't do filming 101, and that's what Spielberg does. He does filming 101. He doesn't really do much else besides filming 101. And he does it fucking right, and it's why he's better than most people, because most people can't get it right. They can't get the basics right.
Yeah, exactly. But and then when Hooper comes over and he brings the wine and he pours the whole glass of wine, I love that scene though.
Yeah.
And like because I love how Spielberg just like lets it stay and like that um the wife and I can't remember her name for some reason, but
Okay.
his wife and Hooper are like trying to have small talk and you're just watching Brody just open the bottle of wine and pour
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
full glass. It's so great. Like I love that it just stays on that static shot of it.
yeah.
So funny and um, or you just, like Brody's alcoholism is kind of a joke in this movie, where
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of drinking. He drinks a lot.
yeah, and I also love how they set up that he's afraid of water.
Yeah.
He's afraid of um, swimming, which is a great, which gets called back towards the end of the movie. Really, like really great.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, then they go to the boat to like open up the shark to see if that's the shark. The
Yeah.
shark that they caught,
Yeah.
and that last episode we were talking about jump scares, and this is another one that gets me too. Like when it doesn't get me as much as Jurassic Park now, but when he goes into the Brody's like drunk on the boat because he's afraid of boats, and
Yeah, yeah.
Hooper goes under the wreck, the
Yeah, this is
shipwreck
the
to
boat
see.
night scene. Yeah, that they
Yeah,
go
yeah,
and check out.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
To
the
see if there's anything down there that would be
they come upon
beneficial.
a wreck of a
Right,
local fisherman and they're
right.
investigating it.
Right. And that's when when he's under there in his scuba suit and the fucking, head just comes out. And this one, I know why it works so well because you see the head and then the music cue happens.
Yeah.
Like it's that anticipation. It's not immediate. It's like you see the head and then it's like boom. It's
Yeah.
like fuck. It's like oh
Yeah.
man, that is a severed head. Um,
And he's in the water at night, right?
right.
He's in the
Right.
water, which
Right.
is one of the most I find that
And
to be
also
one of the most scariest
Hooper,
places.
and also Hooper's scared of shit. Like he's
Yeah.
like you see he's breathing, and you
Yeah.
know, um, I love when he comes out of the water and Brody's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's like it's funny." Um,
I want to talk about the cinematography in that scene too,
yeah,
because that's a thing that I thought was I noticed how that was some really brilliant cinematography done so simply. Like anybody could do that cinematography. The
right.
difficultness is the location, right?
Yeah,
But the
right.
cinematography of that scene was actually
Like
not that hard.
like the way he lights.
Yeah, how the way he
night.
lights that
Yeah,
scene.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So the aspects about that is that first of all, setting it at night was really important,
yeah.
and then he uses the floodlight on the
But that, you
boat.
know what? That probably was shot in a pool. That
Yeah,
probably was,
right. And
Yeah.
so the floodlight that's on the boat, that's a huge aspect of the scene, which is a genius way of lighting, which you don't need any other lights but that one for those shots.
Right.
And you have all those industrial lights on the bottom of the boat to light up the water underneath to make it look murky and scary.
Right,
and then he also adds in a brilliant piece where even though this is a realistic movie, right?
Yeah.
He adds in a part of stuff that's not really real where he adds a smoke machine on it.
Yeah, right.
Which
yeah,
you add that to create atmosphere. That's a big thing
right.
that a lot of amateur filmmakers, or people who aren't really thinking about cinematography, they just think of like, well, if we just shoot what's here normally, then it will look cinematic. It's just like there is so much fucking manipulation to make it so you don't notice a scene, right? If he didn't put that smoke machine, everyone would notice all that black open space that just looks like nothing.
I wonder if Spielberg, I would love to hear him just go, yeah, we had to put smoke because we shot in the pool, and
I'm sure that's what it is. I'm sure that's what it is because you can see the fucking
but it
walls.
Adds
it adds so much to it, and that's the reason. It's just like he probably. I wonder. I do wonder if that decision was made and he was disappointed about it, right? Because it's like we're gonna have to fucking hide in smoke to obscure this, and it's and now some geek like me is just like this. Genius, you know. That's what I feel. This whole movie is. She's like, that was just a huge. I was just trying to cover my ass.
I think that's what he feels like. This movie was such a. When he was making it, he was like, "My career is over." Like this technically isn't his. This is his first theatrical film. His first film was called Duel, which is a incredible, probably the best TV movie ever made.
Ghoul?
Duel, Duel. Duel. And it's a
Yeah.
movie about, you would love it. It's about like
Huh.
a guy. It's a super simple story. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. It's about a driver. I forget the actor's name. He's awesome though. He's
Oh,
just a dude on the road, and a truck keeps following
oh
him,
yeah, I've heard
and he
about
thinks
this.
the truck. It's a fucking amazing movie. It is a masterclass at directing, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like there's like no dialogue in it. Like there's very little. There's this scene in that movie where he goes to a like a diner. He pulls over, and the truck pulls over, and the movie does this genius thing where you never see the truck driver. Like, and the truck looks like a monster. So, and he goes to his diner, and he knows that the truck driver is somewhere in the diner, and he's sitting there and he's trying to like
Figure
figure
who it
out who the
is.
driver is. It is one of the most suspense. It is awesome. It's such a great scene.
That sounds
Anyway,
dope.
yeah, I mean it's a great movie,
I think my
but
dad told me about that, and I've wanted to watch it
it's a
since he
really
explained
cool
the
movie. They just put
premise.
it on Blu-ray like not too long ago.
I'll check that out. I'll check that out.
But but yeah, but like when he was making Jaws, he was like, dude, my career's over because he made Duel for Universal, and that's how he got the job to make this movie.
Sure, yeah.
And so this was like he wasn't he was told to make this movie. It wasn't like like back in the day, when you're a filmmaker and you want to be in the Hollywood studio, you're kind of you're making what you're told to make.
Yeah.
And so like yeah, he just tells about how desperate and how hard this movie was to make. And yeah, it's funny. I bet that's totally what he thinks. He's like,
You
man,
know,
I just did that because I had to, or
and
I just did it
this
because I didn't know what to do. But
and
that's what makes him a great filmmaker, though, because he
yes.
has his instincts are always right. You
And it
know.
really gets at what it takes to do it,
Hmm.
This film situations like this because this is the profound thing about the art form to me, right?
Yeah.
It's not about having the time to create your brilliant ideas. It's not about that. It's about if you can make it happen in the maybe 90 years that you have on the planet, right?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
dire situation to
Yeah.
make sure you can get your ideas out. And a lot of times it's about how do you get it out there and do it in the best way possible. And you'd
Hmm.
be surprised that these situations, almost every single time, when people are put in strict situations, or you hold yourself to that discipline of not doing like anything that you could possibly imagine, but just doing what is needed for the project, or
Right.
what's needed for the agenda at hand is what creates these truly amazing things,
Yeah.
You create
Absolutely.
the most genius movies, the revolutions in music we do have stuff when we have technologies and these geniuses experiment with technologies, but the more significant ones are when there are people who have their options stripped away.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they have to
Right.
figure out a way
Yeah.
to express
You
themselves
gotta
through a tiny
adapt.
hole,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's how he managed. And I think that's another thing about what has made this movie so legendary is
Hmm.
that it's the human, like Beethoven, like
Yeah.
Beethoven writing his music. He was deaf and he toiled over
Yeah.
it. It was the
Right.
human
Yeah.
experience of the struggle of trying to communicate yourself to the world that
Yeah.
makes that people respond to. And that's like
Yeah.
this is a movie about a bougie like island, but it relates to the human fucking struggle,
Yeah.
no
Right.
matter what class you're in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is
Absolutely.
in the movie and for the experience of making the movie. So it's like
Yeah.
this dual
Exactly.
meta thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that is while this is a phenomenally made movie. Like I think everything surrounding it has made it so like such an iconic and like just because this is what it's like to make a movie. Like the story, like
Yeah.
and how Spielberg persevered through this nightmare situation of making this and still turning out making this iconic movie.
Yeah.
Jaws has no right to be this good.
No. Yeah,
No
right.
right. It's a fucking movie about a giant shark. It's a dumb monster movie. But the fact that it's this good is shocking, like,
Yeah.
and I think it was shocking for a lot of people, in the 70s. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and then uh, I guess that like we should definitely talk about kind of the meat of the movie, where after after Michael, Brody's son was almost eaten and is at risk, and he goes into shock because he sees
Which that has my favorite shot in the movie when you have the overhead shot and you see the side of the shark.
awesome,
That was the
great,
scariest shot for
such a
me,
cool shot,
seeing
man.
that
Yeah,
shot with his
love
mom.
that shot.
That's like something from my
'Cause
nightmares.
that's the first time you see it.
Yeah.
That's the first time you see the
Like
shark in the
the
movie.
shark's face, at least. That's the
Yeah,
first time you
right.
see its face. And
I
it's,
love that guy. He's like, "Hey, guy, what are you doing over
yeah.
here?" It's just like it's just a creepy weird dude. Yeah, and you see the leg. But that
Yeah.
was also kind of traumatizing as a kid. Because he was like, "Dude, his leg is off."
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
but
man,
after that,
he needs that.
yeah, but after that, that's when Brody decides, all right, we're gonna hire Clint.
Yeah.
Um, and another thing that, like, you mentioned that kind of like the New York thing, um, like how he lived in New York before, and how it's kind of not relevant. There's one part in this movie that is makes that kind of relevant that I love so much,
Hmm.
and it's such a great character moment. Is when they're in the hospital, and Michael and the mother is super nervous about him, and uh, he walks up to his wife and he goes, "Are you gonna take him home?" And he goes and she goes, "To New York."
Yeah.
He's
Right.
like, "No, to here." So I love that because it's such a small thing that's like introduced in the beginning of the movie where he lived in New York for a little bit. But I
Yeah.
like that it's brought back that like there's this tension in the family um that she doesn't really want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And that just creates more of a tension between, for Brody,
Right. And that was also, it also
and
marks
the
a,
need to kill the shark,
yes, it marks a transformation moment in the film,
Yeah.
because that's the
Yes,
start right before
absolutely.
the third act. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
also
when
a
he's like, "I'm gonna
signifier.
hire Clint,"
Yeah, and
and we're
it's
gonna
when he
go do
becomes
this.
invested and not so
Yes.
debated about
Yeah.
his old life. He's like, this is my life.
Yeah.
This is what I want to fix.
And also in that scene, this was so good. Also in that scene, they make the mayor kind of like a real person. Like they don't make him like like a mustache twirling villain.
Yeah.
There's this great scene where he's in they're talking in one of the rooms, and he's like, "Dude, my kid almost really got eaten," and the mayor's like, "Hey, I have kids too," and that's
Yeah.
all he had to say because it's like I understand where you're coming from, and we need to hire this guy.
Yeah, and I mean,
That's when the mayor literally was like, "All right,
and it's
and
great.
it's nice to see that moment.
And it's great too, because he becomes human and he reacts to, but what's great about that moment is that they don't betray the character of the mayor. Again,
Yes,
a lesser
exactly, yeah.
blockbuster would make it so that he jumps camps, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he,
right,
instead
right,
of being the
right.
character who wants the money and stuff, he just decides to say, "Oh, you were right all along. Let's do this." And now he's on board with Brody.
Yeah, right,
He never
right,
really
exactly.
becomes on board with Brody
Yeah,
because he's still
right.
about the money.
Yeah,
But he's
exactly, yeah.
so shaken by this
Right.
experience.
He's a
which,
human being. He's a real
yeah, he's human,
being,
and seeing him react to like that, the guy who seems impervious to it because if money's good, I don't care what happens to the
Right,
people.
right.
Seeing that shook, it's like then the audience is triggered to be like, this shit's dire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. And so, yeah, all three of them are like, "Let's get on this boat. Let's go fuck up the shark, man." And this is when, the movie kind of it changes. I mean, it becomes like this, it becomes like a monster movie, a straight up monster movie.
What a great second act.
Oh, dude.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, incredible setup. And the third act is so. I mean, it's the third act of Jaws. It's
Yeah.
awesome,
Yeah.
And there's so many amazing moments just in this whole scene, and I love how Clint is like how he's like throws Hooper the knot Tyler's not. Like, he's already kind of tested. There's already this tension just when Hooper and Quint meet for the first time, and there's
Yeah.
already this tension between the two, which is a great setup for what happens on the boat.
Yeah.
They're all three like they're they're almost forced together. It's not like it's not they're not all friends, and that's what makes it's just more interesting of a movie because
Yeah.
like these three characters they don't like each other very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
They grow to like each other while they're on this boat.
Yeah.
But it's just such a great setup.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just so it's so cool. It's so freaking cool to see these characters who are set up at the beginning of the movie and then are in this contained space all together on this boat, which is such a great fucking miniature set, right?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is so complicated to get. I can't believe so much of this film was just set on that fucking boat in the middle of the water, right? And the way you see these characters arc, how they just weave between each other, right? Because while we're on the boat, we almost completely abandon Brody. That's what blows my mind. We abandon Brody and we follow Quint. We follow, which is I would love to read. I want to read Moby Dick because I wonder if that's what happens in Moby Dick, where you follow Ishmael and then you become obsessed with Ahab and then it turns back into Ishmael's story.
I read Moby Dick,
I don't really know.
So long ago, I don't really remember. Well,
yeah, but it was so cool how well that was done, and then it was like the fight between. Go ahead.
Also you're kind of getting into how all three of them kind of weave together. Like I love how Brody doesn't really know what to do, and he almost trips over those air pressure things, and Hooper's like, dude, you could have blown us up, and there's just.
Which starts foreshadowing the air tank.
Yeah, exactly.
He foreshadows that air tank early.
And then I also, my favorite probably Quint moment in this movie. Other than I love how when he starts singing the song and foreshadowing that when he fucking goes back to
Spanish ladies. You ladies in Spain.
But when he puts the line in and he's sitting there, and there's an ellipses kind of.
Oh my god!
And he's sitting there. This is iconic Spielberg. I mean, this is just Spielberg. Moments like these are just gonna run throughout his whole filmography. When he's sitting there, and it's just that awesome low angle shot where you see the rod and Quint looking out, and you hear. You just have that little sound of the I don't know what you call it, not a fisher, the rod,
the reel,
line,
the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the wheel. You just hear that little sound, and he's sitting there, and you just see his eyes kind of go like this. It's just so cinematic. It's it's just such a great cinematic moment.
Perfect coverage to do in close-ups too. To see all those points where it's all done with close-ups.
And Brody's kind of asking him a question, and Quint's just completely focused.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
genius thing.
Hold that,
That's
it builds the suspense so much because you're like, oh, dude, they got it, they got it on the line,
That's a genius thing about Spielberg in general, where what's happening in the background of that scene in audio and also visually is that Brody's tying a knot, and they establish
he's learning how to do a knot,
and Quint's trying to teach him how to tie a sailor's knot. And this is something that Spielberg has done over and over and over again. And this is something that Orson Welles does. This is something that Hitchcock does, which is this is even though this isn't literally deep space composition where you use so film term, deep space means that you can see what's happening in the middle ground, the foreground, what's happening in the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. And you set it up so you can see everything that's going on. You have action happening at all those points. In this situation, the dialogue, the audio is sort of the background going on, so it's not a visual thing, but you see this over and over again where he blocks it, where there's multiple things going on. Another scene is when the first conversation that Brody has, right, where he's on the phone, and you see the wife and the kid in the background working on dishes. And it adds so much to see this parallel action going on, and it's the efficiency that you can do because you do things faster if you can tell it at the same time. And if you can tell two things of two characters, that's like two developing points in the character where Brody's learning how to become a better like seaman, and the shark is coming. It's great. It's super great.
Yeah, that's great. And like he just has this like, you know, and that's so like I think you said it, like it's so efficient, you know, it's just so like it's just such smart framing and it's such smart staging. I mean, Spielberg is one of the most. I mean, no one was going to lose, like, you know what I mean? Like, people were, but, like, to this extent where it was just, like, this perfection of, like, these compositions that aren't, you know, Kubrick, but they're very efficient, and they're telling, and they're engaging, and they're, you know, but, yeah, that, I love, you know, just love that scene, you know, when he gets it, and it's that John Williams music kind of swells up, and, you know, they get the harpoon gun and he shoots the fucking shark and I mean, it's just all, like, I wrote in my notes, the last, like, 30 minutes of this movie is just blockbuster, like, perfection. It's just perfect. Like, I really don't have any issue with the last, like, 30 minutes of this movie, like, even, like, at all. And I think, like, because it captures the time when they're on the boat so well. Each character has a great moment.
Yeah.
And, you know, it culminates into, like, one of the most iconic, like, battles, like, ending things ever. And, like, so I love how, like, in the first part of that scene, they can't catch the shark. They keep losing him.
Yeah.
And we find out, what I love too is we find out not until later in the movie that it's a great white. It's a huge shark. We never really know how big the shark, they don't know how big the shark is until Hooper knows that his mouth is big, but he doesn't really, even he is shocked at how big the shark is.
Yeah, because there's no...
Remember, there's that great moment when he has the shark on the line, and he's trying to take a picture, and he's like, Brody, like, get in front of the shark for the scale, you know, like, it's just such a great, like, that's something that character would do, you know, it's a great character moment, and, like, bro, like, and, you know, actually, that scene is so perfect. It tells each one of those characters so well. Yeah. Brody is trying to, like, you know, help, and he's trying to, like, get up, like, more and try to, like, throw the barrel over there. And Clint's, like, going to get the harpoon gun. Yeah. And Hooper's, like, there, like, being the oceanographer, like, taking pictures of it, you know?
Yeah, that's a great way of telling personalities through, because again, it's the same thing of the efficient filmmaking where you have one event that happens and we see three characters react with their own separate personalities all at the same time.
Yeah. And so they can't catch it, and then we have that downtime scene that I kind of mentioned earlier, I think, where they're in the cabin and they're kind of just hanging out. It's like nighttime now, and they are showing their battle scars. It's funny because when I watch it now, I still get the same feeling that I did when I was 11 years old, where, like, that scene is so interesting because it's, like, the only time in the movie, really, where you see, where nothing's, like, happening. Like, nothing, like, dire is kind of happening, where it's just these characters just sitting around and talking. And even as a kid, I was like, I love this scene because you see, like, their personalities come out more on their fun side, you know, and it's just because you fall in love with these characters, and so when you see that, you're like, oh, this is so awesome.
I mean, it's the meeting point where their trauma of the shark forms into a friendship between them, because that's the point where Hooper and, you know, Quint have this homoerotic experience of comparing each other's dicks, and then realizing that even though they're different from each other, that it's like, oh, you have measured your worth. Yeah. You know, you have lived this life, although different than mine, just as valuably and deeply as I have.
Yeah. I also love when Hooper opens his shirt. He's like, sorry. He broke my heart. Like, I love how dorky he is. Like, Richard Dreyfuss is he's such a dork in this movie. Like, he's laughing like he's such a nerd.
And the iconic thing about that scene is the shark story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
wow.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, even today, you're like, that is, I mean, one of the best monologues like I've ever heard in a film. It's just the way that Spielberg,
Indubitably.
the way that Spielberg slowly pushes in, and Robert Shaw just fucking, I mean, he kills it. I don't know how many times they did that, but I mean, that's one of the most iconic things
Yeah.
ever, you know. And I love how that scene starts off so he's so good at like tone switching
Yeah.
because like it's this great like kind of heartwarming moment, and then it becomes like this like whoa, you know, like what are we doing, you know,
Yeah.
out here? Because he tells that story, and you're almost like, man, they probably shouldn't be doing this, you know, like
Yeah.
this might
Yeah.
turn out kind of bad, you know what I mean? So and then, like right after that story, the boat, you know, the shark hits the boat, and
Yeah.
they get drunk, and they sing that song, and it's another heartwarming moment. It's like, oh, this is fun, and then, boom, the fucking shark hits the boat, and the shit hits the fan, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then they have to, you know, Hooper gets into the cage, which is like probably the scariest scene in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because this is when you fully see the shark. I think, from my understanding, this is the only scene where the shark worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the only scene where they're able to get the shark working the whole time. Bless you.
Thanks.
COVID. And so, um, like, yeah, when he gets in the cage and the shark, like, goes straight at him, and he's banging the, the cage. I love how the ending is it's such a ripple effect, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I love how, like, that's the catalyst for, like, the shark, like, starting to, you know, do its business, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he starts breaking the thing. And they don't, and Brody and, you know, Quint don't really know, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the engine's like about to like blow up, like Quint's like pushing the orca, you know, as
Yeah.
far as it
Yeah.
possibly can. And then like Hooper gets away from the shark, and the shark, I don't know how they did this. I don't know if it's a robot, but it's on top of the cage, and they're trying to pull up the cage, and it's like flopping onto the cage,
Yeah.
and they're trying
Yeah.
to get it up, and they can't get it up. And then when they finally get up the cage, they see that Hooper's not in there, so they're like, okay, he's dead.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, the boat is sinking because the engine is blown up. So
Dude.
this is all happening at the same time. And then water comes in, and
Yeah.
then the shark jumps on top of the orca, and you know they're holding, and you know, obviously one of the most gruesome things in a PG movie I've ever seen in my life. To this day, I'm
Yeah.
like, how did they get away with that? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
1975 was just a different time.
Yeah.
Like, Quint falls into the shark's mouth, and literally you see blood and everything. Like, the shark is just eating him,
Yeah.
and like blood
Yeah.
coming out of his mouth, and just the shark just eats him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the great moment where Brody is stuck by himself. And
Yeah.
this whole time on the boat, he's not, you know, been, you know, the guy who's making the shots, you know?
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, like it's kind of Clint
He's
and
literally
Hooper
the
on this boat.
least qualified person to be
Exactly.
in that situation.
And so because he's Chief motherfucking Brody, he gets it done. You know,
Yeah.
he's the man,
Gets
you
it
know?
done.
And so, and what I love too is like, there's this foreshadow moment like way earlier on in the movie where you see a picture of the shark with the air pressure
Yeah.
in his mouth, and I think that's how Brody like had the idea of putting the air pressure thing in its mouth.
Yeah.
Because even as a kid, like, how did he like have the idea to do that? And then rewatching it today, I was like, oh yeah, maybe he saw that picture of the air pressure thing in his mouth, you know, like when he
Yeah.
was doing research about sharks.
Yeah, and he also had that moment again when he first foreshadowed it, where Hooper tells him they're very
Right, it's a blow up.
explosive.
Right, exactly,
So, and he's
yeah.
been concerned about it that whole time to be very careful with
Yeah,
it because he
exactly, yeah,
knows
right.
it's explosive.
Right.
So,
Exactly. And I love just like in the moment that whole sequence is. Like it just feels like, oh man, shit just hit the fan. You know,
yeah,
like it just hit the fan. You
yeah,
know? And so and yeah, like you suddenly boom, shark blows up. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like, if I saw that in 1975 in the theaters, I might have well stand up and cheered. It's
Yeah.
so fucking awesome. That's one of the best one-liners of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah.
Instead of a just boom, because you know it's such a great character moment because he's afraid of the boat. He doesn't know what he's doing on the boat. He's afraid of water. You know, and he conquers his fear almost,
Yeah.
and that's why in Jaws 4, Brody they say that Brody died in Jaws 4 because Roy Snyder was like, I don't want to be in Jaws 4,
Jaws 4,
and so
right.
yeah, and so but like how they say that he died in Jaws 4 is from a heart attack because he saw a shark, um, and like he had a heart attack and died, and like when I saw that I was like, who the fuck wrote this movie? Like,
Yeah.
is this like a fucking idiot? Like,
Yeah.
it must be because no idiot on their right mind would be like, yeah, Chief Brody be afraid of sharks. But
Yeah.
no, the guy in Jaws 2, he killed another one. I
Yeah.
think the one guy on this planet that wouldn't be afraid of sharks, it's that guy.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he probably has like the character has trauma around sharks, obviously.
yeah, when he's not
but
gonna have a heart attack, he
yeah,
shot a
right.
shark in the
Right.
fucking, he's not, so dumb.
Absolutely
Anyway.
ridiculous.
Jaws 4 is really bad. Highly recommend. Very funny.
Yeah.
But really horrible. But yeah, then Hooper comes out. I love that Hooper didn't see any of that.
Yeah, right.
I
You didn't
love
see
that.
it at
I
all.
love that he didn't know like what happened like at all.
Yeah.
And he gets up and they have that great last line where it's like, something like, oh, I wrote it down, but it's great. Yeah, I used to hate the water. That was the last
Oh yeah.
line that Chief Brody had, and they swim the shore. Credits. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Great, fantastic, awesome last 30 minutes of the
Yeah.
movie. It's everything that you kind of want
Yeah. Didn't
in
Hooper
a movie like that, you know?
Didn't Hooper respond? I can't imagine why too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, it's
know?
a great such a
And I
great
love-
way to
Yeah.
end. It's brave to end a film. Again, it's brave, which this film is brave in so many ways. To end a film in that melancholy, quiet
Right,
moment, you
right,
know,
right.
it's a long shot of the main characters, right?
Yeah,
You don't even see their
yeah.
faces.
No,
And that's
they're-
what you
they're
end
just
the
going
film
off.
with.
They're just swimming on the.
Those might not
on
even.
one of
That
the
might not
people
even be Richard Dreyfuss and
Right, exactly,
Roy
yeah,
Schneider.
right,
It might not
right,
be them.
Right.
It's
right.
ADR of their voices, but it might not be them swimming.
I love that because I think some other blockbusters would show like him getting back with his family and stuff like that. But I love they made a Jaws too, so you know that they got back. But like it's great that you kind of are like, did they get to shore? I mean,
Yeah.
but it's just that cool ambiguity ending where you're like, you don't have to see them like get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more exciting to leave the theater and be like, well, I hope they got on shore.
Yeah, and I
we
mean,
love the shark.
when they have the credits rolling, you have them the shore, and you see them like
Oh,
on
you're
the
right.
barrels
You're
too.
right. You're right.
But you don't know. You
You're
don't
right.
know. There's still ambiguity, about
Yeah,
it.
like there's no there's no you don't need the closure of him like returning back to the town.
Yeah,
and,
everyone hates that.
being
That's
the
what
hero.
everyone. That's what everyone
Right.
hates about Return to the King, right?
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Too many
Sure,
endings.
you can put that in there, to
Sure.
resolve them, but it's
Yeah.
it's
We
kind of
don't
nice
need to
when
see him
we
be
don't
the
need
hero
it.
of the town.
Yeah, because he's a
Like,
hero. He's our hero.
Yeah, and what I love about it is too is like we're the only audience. We're the only people who saw that happen.
Yeah, right.
Which is such a cool thing.
That is
because,
cool.
Like,
That is
no
really cool.
one in that world saw what he did.
Yeah.
Except for us, which is like I don't know. It's a weird
Yeah.
I've never really thought of that before.
That's a
when
good.
it's like
Yeah,
this
that's a cool
exclusive
movie.
thing to the audience.
That's a cool movie experience to have when you
Right.
when you really make it where the audience can see something. That's what film is.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Exclusive content, paid Patreon behind this Patreon.
I don't even know what you're trying to say.
Protein Patreon. I was trying to. The joke is lost. It's so lost. It's been dead and buried.
Yeah.
That's how you kill a joke. Holy crap.
What?
Massacre a joke.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just say it, then try to explain it
Yeah.
for way too long.
Well, dog, that was
All right,
that was a good Jaws
talked-
discussion.
Lovejaws,
Yeah.
fucking amazing movie.
Well, go ahead.
What? What do you want to say?
Would you approve of this movie?
I would. I don't think I could approve of the movie even more. I'm wearing the shirt. I'm wearing a Jaws shirt.
Yeah, it was okay.
Can you imagine if I was like, yeah, no, I don't like this movie. Like, I just talked about it for so long. And, no, I don't like it. That's funny. That's funny.
I don't like it that much.
Well,
This is.
I got this as a gift.
It just fits nice. It's nice and snug on my armpits.
Oh yeah, maybe that's a great movie poster. I mean, fantastic.
Yeah, seriously.
What a look iconic, you know?
Yeah.
Parodied to death.
Yeah. Claws. Paws.
Yeah, I had that shirt too. I could have worn that.
Yeah.
All right, man.
This is hardcore thick and butter approved.
This is hardcore.
And let me bring up and tell you what is on the agenda for next week.
Yes, I'm ready.
We might have an Akira podcast coming up soon, but that depends on how this week goes and the future.
Yeah.
I'm moving to Boulder soon, so we might have to go on a bit of a hiatus or just.
Yeah.
But we have some back catalog, so it might not seem like anything if you doesn't.
I think we'll be all right.
But I'll just slot another movie. Anyways, and I'm going to give you an option. I'm going to give you a pick between.
Dude, I got an option, dude.
Between
I don't
two.
think we've ever had this before.
Two movies. I know. This is a thick and butter first. So the first movie that for option number 1 is the animated film Wizards.
Okay. Yeah. I've never seen it. I know what that is though.
The second option is The French Connection.
Oh, dude, it's a hard question.
Yeah. Is Roy Schneider in The French Connection?
Yes, he is. Yeah, I've seen The French Connection. Phenomenal movie.
I've seen it too. So that'd be a second watch.
Second Roy Schneider.
Roy Schneider theme.
Double feature.
Yeah.
Actually, Roy Schneider is great in The French Connection. I think he might have been nominated for an Oscar for that movie.
I think he might have been, yeah.
I saw that. Anyway, let's do Wizards. I've never seen it.
Let's do it.
And I heard it's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
So I really want to see it.
Let's do it.
So we're going to do who directed that movie?
Good question. I have no idea.
I'll figure it out. We'll do a whole podcast about it. So, all right, boys and gals. Like this podcast if you like it.
Tell your mama.
Subscribe. We're on Instagram. Link in the description.
Tell your
Link
daddy.
to the audio portion of the podcast if you want that. You know?
Tell your sister.
Tell your sister. Tell your brother. Tell your cousin. Tell your mother. Your great grandmother.
Your step cousin.
Your step cousin.
Your weird uncle.
Your weird uncle twice removed. You know?
Your
do whatever you have to
elementary
do.
School teacher.
Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Be safe. Kanye for 2020.
We'll see you on the Morning Monkey News.
Morning Monkey News, baby. Alright. I'm delusional. Bye-bye.